Testing. Okay. I think I'm live. I don't know yet. Well, anyways, if you're watching this in replay, hello and welcome. Today I want to go live to celebrate 6 months of being on this channel, uploading to it, and also because it's the day before Valentine's. Not that it really matters, unless you have a special Valentine's. Anyways, today I made some grilled salmon that I'm going to wrap and make some spring rolls out of. So let me show you what I have. First, this is my vegetable plate. So I have romaine lettuce. Got this thing called culantro, which I don't know, tastes and looks kind of like the weeds in my backyard, but it actually tastes pretty good. I have some cucumbers, I have basil, mint, and I'm not sure what this is called, but I got that from the Asian market. And then I went to Costco and just got a spring mix of just some whatever comes in a spring mix. I'm not sure. And then I have some bean sprouts. Usually when my wife and children eat, they also have noodles, like a flat rice noodle, but I didn't get that because I don't like noodles in my spring rolls. Then I have some I have some fish sauce that I made with some sriracha. So I'm going to mix that up. And so I air fried the salmon. I only have like 2 small pieces because I usually don't put a lot of protein into my rolls. My rolls are basically just salad rolls. All right. I have my, what do I call it, spring roll wrapper. By the way, I use this brand. Let me see. I have a new one right here. I use this brand right here with these 3 ladies. I think there's another knockoff brand that also has the 3 ladies, but this is the one I use because it might be made out of plastic or something, but it doesn't disintegrate when you get it into water and it sits around. I've been to like some restaurants where they've given me their brand, which is probably some off-brand, and it just falls apart when you're rolling. This one does not, so that's why I like using it. And this is that same brand with the 3 ladies. And these are those noodles that my daughter and wife likes. They soak it in like warm water for maybe a couple minutes and then microwave it. And then it becomes like just noodles, white rice noodles, but it's flat. Like a what would you call that thing? It's like a plate. All right, let's get started. I usually like to put 1 piece of lettuce on the bottom. Then I put on my stuff. So how are you guys doing today? I think I started using this Costco brand spring mix because it's so much easier than having to wash and pick out all these herbs. So let's put a bit of this down. Kind of burnt my salmon because I wasn't sure how long to air fry it. So I air fried it for 10 minutes and it looked okay. I thought, well, maybe I'll just put in for a little bit longer. And so I put it for 5 more minutes. I think that took it over the top and burnt everything, but should still be okay. I think it just burnt mostly the outside. I don't know, you tell me. I'm colorblind, so I can't really tell if it's good or not. Okay, so then I like to put my spring mix on top, and then another smaller piece of lettuce to close it out. Yeah. There's my roll. Okay, have a good meal. Some people like to wrap all their spring rolls first and then start eating. I like to wrap one at a time. That way I can adjust to my taste. If there's something I want more of or less of as I'm eating, I can just modify it while I'm eating. Oh no, it's falling apart. This is my first ever YouTube live. So I'm not used to, I'm looking at a preview and it's on delay. And then I also have it live on my phone on the corner and that's on another delay. So it's like 3 delays, delay. That one's really delayed. So whoever's watching on YouTube live, ooh, now I'm seeing some weird glitch. Okay. When I go to Asian markets, I actually don't like to roll as much because I don't know how clean their vegetables are. Like if they use clean water or not. That's one of my hesitations about eating stuff like street food, because if they're out there with a tent, or even if it's a like a trailer or something, like how are they getting fresh water to clean their food and whatnot? Right. Like you can see how I burnt the fish. I'm gonna save the skin for later. I don't know why. Let's see. My stomach's growling because I didn't eat any cheese. I don't know if this is an OCD of mine or if other people do it, but if I have like 2 pieces of lettuce, I always put them opposite of each other so that I don't have 2 ends on the same side. I think I need more fish sauce. I was so worried about getting this live stream up. I didn't even have time to go get some dessert. I was gonna go get a donut. I'm out of fish sauce. Let me go grab some more. I'll be right back. So I think in my post I was saying I wanted to talk about why Valentine's Day. hasn't been the same since my daughters were born. And I mean, for the obvious reasons, you have children now, so you can't really do too many romantic things unless you have like babysitters. So my oldest daughter, she was born, or her birthday will be the day after Valentine's Day. And but we actually went to the hospital on Valentine's Day around noontime, and we thought, well, my wife thought she was ready to go into labor. I mean, by that time, she was done with being pregnant. She just wanted to have the baby. And we went in, and they checked her, and I guess she was only like 3 centimeters dilated or something like that. So they're like, no, you still have plenty of time. Just go home. And so we went home, and at the time, my mother-in-law was staying with us because she knew that any day now my wife would be giving birth. And then so because my mother-in-law was there, my parents came over to, spend time with her, especially since we were in the hospital and she was home alone. So when we came back home, we thought, okay, I guess we'll just have Valentine's Day dinner. And so for Valentine's Day dinner, this is what we had. We had grilled fish that we rolled with my mother-in-law and my parents. And then afterwards, my wife and I went for a walk after dinner, and then I guess the walk must have triggered it or something. She was ready to go again. So we went back. And I think at the time we came back, she was probably like maybe 6, maybe 7 centimeters dilated. And they said, okay, fine, we'll admit you and let's see what happens. And then, so we went through the night. So then Valentine's Day was over. So she wasn't a Valentine's Day baby. And then the next day at around noon, my wife delivered our oldest daughter. And so ever since then, I don't know, Valentine's Day was just the day prepping for my daughter's birthday. I usually only eat 3 rolls, and I think this time I'm only going to eat 3. I'm actually kind of feeling full. Let's see. I'm going to try to use all the vegetables I have here so I don't have to put it back in with the others. Okay, I'll put that. Just gonna throw everything on here to make one last mega roll. I'm gonna say something that is I probably would say it differently if I wasn't married and had kids. And maybe it's because I'm also older. Like looking back to all those Valentine's days that I spent with people that I probably wouldn't have if I was more comfortable just being by myself. You get into this routine where you feel like you have to have someone for Valentine's Day. And I think my daughter was telling me yesterday that the 15th, which is her birthday, is National Singles Day. Okay, let's see. How am I going to split this? I got this salmon at Costco, by the way. It was already pre-cut. Okay, this piece is going to have, or this roll is going to have a lot of big pieces. Okay, let's put the cap on. Oh, wow. Forgot to mix up my sriracha and fish sauce. To me, sriracha is kind of like ketchup. It's not that spicy, but it still makes my nose runny. I say that because I'm about to sniff. When I usually eat with my daughters, I don't get this piece because they're always fighting for it. I mean, not fighting it, but they're always eating it, so, or I know that they'd like it, so I leave it for them. Crispy salmon skin is so good. Finish all the fish sauce again. All right, my last bite of my salmon spring roll. Now I kind of wish that I had some dessert, even though I'm kind of full. One of my favorite desserts, I think, growing up was the orange push pops. I think they were Flintstones. I don't recall. I don't know why I keep thinking. Excuse me. Keep thinking they're Flintstones. But I saw them at 7-Eleven yesterday or the day before. I was tempted to get it. This piece not that crispy. So if you're wondering how I marinate the fish, I just put garlic powder, honey, fish sauce, a little tiny bit of fish sauce, soy sauce, pepper. What else did I put? Oh, so I put black pepper and I guess it's white pepper. But I think I should have put more honey, make it more sweet. I don't even have anything sweet to drink, like maybe iced tea. Maybe I'll go grab one on the way to get the girls. I also need, let's see, what time is it? So I'm going to leave right at 1. So I said I would be, I don't know why I said I'm going to be here from 12 to 1, but at 1 I'm going to leave, go pick up some flowers and maybe some candy for my wife and the girls. Wait, let's see how I'm going to do that, because I want to go to Costco and get the roses at Costco. I think they're cheaper. So I go to Costco, get the roses. I need to go pick up some cards. I don't know where to do that. You know where the best place to get cards is? The Dollar Tree. They have a section where you get 2 cards for $1 still. I think a lot of their stuff is now like $1.50. They inched up in price. There was like $1.25. Now it's $1.50. And then they have stuff that are like $3 to $5. Man, I really wish. You know what I do have? I have like these cinnamon gummy bears. I told myself I wouldn't eat any today. Let's see. What can I talk about for the next 30 minutes? 27 minutes. I could start cleaning up. Well, I can't even start cleaning up because I can't take it with me. The bad thing about cooking at home is now I have to wash all these dishes. You know, one of my daughters, she has a group of friends that's on her soccer team that go to the same middle school as her. And they're doing some gift exchange for Halloween. Why do I keep calling it Halloween? Valentine's Day. So she asked me to take her to the store to buy her some stuff. And she made like this little basket with different kinds of candies and stuff. And I gave her a budget. Actually, I gave her the money because every time I give her a budget, she always goes over budget because she doesn't factor in tax and stuff. And so I just gave her the cash and let her go into the store and buy it herself. It's funny because when she came out of the store, she didn't have enough to buy the bag. So she was carrying all the candy in her shirt. And I was telling her, that it looks like she stole the stuff. And, but I mean, she had a receipt. Anyways, today she woke up, she asked me to wake her up earlier. So I woke her up around like 5:30 and she started doing her hair and everything. I was thinking, why would she be doing all this just for her soccer friends? And part of me wanted to question her whether or not there was like maybe a guy, not, you know, she could have been lying to me and just saying that she wants to do like a candy exchange with her soccer girlfriends. But in reality, there might be some guy. So I'm like, why would she need like to have her hair all done up early and stuff? I guess that's one of those things about being a dad. It's like, part of it is it's better not to know. But like my personality is I want to know. Well, as a parent, I guess you do want to know, right? You want to make sure your kids are safe. I mean, I don't know how boys are different nowadays than they were when I was growing up. Because we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have the internet. Boys were just boys and, you know, they did things that boys do, which is mostly not good things. That's why I'm so glad I have daughters. But the thing is, when you have daughters, you have to worry about them dating boys. And I mean, I don't think I was one of like a really bad kid growing up, especially in high school I wasn't. And maybe when I got to college, I started dating more. Actually, I didn't start even dating until I got to college. I mean, there was girls I liked in high school, but high school girls just really didn't do anything for me. They were, I say, underdeveloped mostly. So I was always into older women, like college girls or even MILFs, you know? Yeah. Anyway, so, I mean, the dating scene is probably so much different now that everyone can be tracked on their cell phone, or you can see what they're up to on, you know, social media sites. So I remember when I was just dating, and hopefully my wife won't watch this. I mean, I'm not going to say anything too bad because I don't want my wife to get mad at me, but on Valentine's Day, you're obligated to take whoever you're dating or seeing out to dinner. And this is like before I had my own place, so I couldn't cook dinner for them. So we'd have to go out to eat. And number one, the thing I dislike most about Valentine's Day is that a lot of these restaurants will have a Valentine's Day menu. And I guess I could see from their point of view why they want it. They want to, because it's going to be so crowded, they want to just have certain items on the menu they know they're going to sell. So like their full menu isn't available on Valentine's Day. So if you're just a family going out to eat, you're kind of SOL, But you go there and it's their regular foods, but they're categorized into like, entrees, appetizers, whatnot. And they're more expensive than they are usually, like regularly. And I mean, it's been over 20 years since the last time. And it's probably only been 2 restaurants that I saw this happen. And after that, I was like, I'm not a fan of going out on Valentine's Day anymore. And then plus, I mean, after I ended up having my own place, I would just make dinner or order something and then prep it at home to eat. But yeah, I remember how crowded it used to be, and I would look around and see all these guys trying their hardest to get a girl to like them. You bring them flowers, candy, gifts. And you know what the guy's expecting by the end of the day, Well, at least if it was me. I guess I can't speak for others. I never really spoke to anyone about that, Like Valentine, so I'm kind of like not kind of. I am like a loner. So I even though I have friends and acquaintances, I don't share a lot of my personal feelings with it. I have like one good friend that I share most of my feelings with, and I'm completely honest with. And he's someone that I met at my first job when I got to college. I wanted to be, back then I wanted to be a police officer, and so we worked for a security department at this place. And I'll probably talk about it more sometime later down the line, because this place is going to be closing soon. But anyways, so he's probably my closest friend. And if you follow me on this channel, whatever, I think I spoke about him one time when I went to the hospital to see him. So he's not doing too well medically. And if something ever happens to him, I mean, at our age, anything can happen, right? I think his father passed away around the time, at the age that he is at now, or that he's about to be. So, I mean, it's possible. And I was thinking, at my age, am I too old to have close friends again? I mean, I still have my friends from high school. I see them. I go to events with them, weddings, funerals. Sometimes we just get together when one of them has moved out of the area comes back. We'll get together. But I have one more good friend that lives out in Texas, but he's busy with his life right now. Yeah. This might be my last live. It's kind of boring when I have nothing else to eat. I do want to go get a flan for my daughter. She likes flans. So I think she wanted the Costco flan. I think it was yesterday, we were actually at Costco, and she went over to the flan section. She was like, tell me how this flan had so much syrup that it almost covered to the top. And she's kind of like me. She's like really into sweets. Well, she's into sweets and she's like into snacking. So she's very similar to me, but she looks more like my wife, thank goodness. My younger daughter, she looks more like me, but she acts and her mannerisms are more similar to my wife. And I think that's because when she was born, she breastfed for like, I feel like the longest time, maybe until she was 3. Like, she was breastfeeding all the time. Even when she wasn't breastfeeding, she was just attached. She just wanted to touch my wife's breast and, you know, oh no. She's always... All right, well, I have 15 more minutes. 15 minutes and then I will head out. Look at the stats and I don't know what it's trying to tell me. I'm using this thing called OBS. Let me see if I switch over. I wonder what it's going to do. No, I don't want to mess things up. Okay. You know, because no one came to watch my live feed, I'm actually relieved. I mean, over on the side, I kept seeing this number pop, the participant number, pop from 1 to 2, 1 to 2. Well, it's 1 because I have one of my phones connected to see it, because I wanted to see how much of a delay between what I'm recording. Actually, there's 4 delays. There's the camera. I can see the camera preview there, and there's a slight delay here on my... I'm using this program called OBS. I think it's Open Broadcast something, maybe? I don't know. And then there's the YouTube Studio, which is showing it on a delay. But then on the phone, there is even a more delay. Let me see if I can show you without totally messing things up. Look, I'm gonna wave. Let's see how long it takes. Oh man, look how long it took me to even pick up the phone. Oh man, that's a huge delay. And it's not even smooth. Anyways. So that's that. Maybe it's like frozen. Well, at the 50-minute mark, I'll start my closing remarks. Warning, it says my stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. Oh, I didn't know. I probably should have just used the YouTube studio camera. I think that part would have been better. There's less of a delay, but then I couldn't do the starting soon. And then I think this one I can also connect to my camera. Let's see. Let's see, like if I wanted to show you. Oops. I should probably open that. There. Then you can see my camera. I can switch back to live. Sorry, I'm just looking at all these warnings that keep coming up telling me that my bit rate is too low for, I guess, the recommended stream. I guess frames per minute, I'm only at 20 when I should be at 30. All right. Well, if you're watching this on replay, because I don't think anyone showed up. If they did, they didn't introduce themselves, and it's too much of a delay. I wasn't paying attention over here. But it says concurrent views, only one. So I think that's my phone. That was the one. But if you're watching this in replay, thank you. I appreciate you, especially if you made it to this far into the video. I don't know if this is going to go live today, or it might go out live tomorrow, who knows. But whenever it goes live, if you watch this, I hope you have or had a good Valentine's Day. Don't let this, what would you call it? Consumer holiday, make you feel bad if you don't have anyone special. Just be at peace with yourself. And I think the older you get, the more pressure it is to have to be with someone. I've known people who are younger, and they were able to master, being alone and not having those pressures very early on, which I think is pretty awesome. I wish I had that. But yeah, I think in replay I'm gonna be like chopping this up and taking out all those things that I usually don't want in my video. Stuff like my burping, noises I make, my stuttering. I'll take all that out. So that's shorter. I mean, I doubt anyone will watch this much of my video. Hey, I have a new shirt at the merch store. It says, "Have a good meal." If anyone's interested, you can go to, I don't know if this will have it, but usually in my description, there's a link to the merch. Maybe I'll go to Costco and get an ice cream. They have this caramel ice cream with brownie. But because I don't like the brownie, I just asked them to take the brownies out and just give me the vanilla ice cream with caramel. And Well, I've never gotten it with the brownie, so I don't know if, because when I asked for it without the brownie, it seems like to have a lot of caramel. I don't know if it's always like that and they just omit the brownie, or they're giving me extra caramel because I don't have the brownie. I've always wondered that. Maybe I should ask them next time. Huh. See, over here it says there's only one viewer. But over there it says there's 3. Now there's 2. Now that I mentioned it, they jumped off. But no one's texting or no one's messaging. So I don't know if they're there or not. And what does it mean by concurrent view? The number of viewers connected to this stream at the most recently available time. What does this one mean? Total number of times the stream was viewed while it was live. Okay, so I guess the whole thing over there with 3 is wrong because it only shows 1. And I think that 1 is me. So maybe it's counting me a couple times. See, look, it's saying 3 now. Live chat. There's a little picture of a man, a silhouette of a man, and it says number 3. All right. Well, it's almost 1 o'clock my time. So, man, I did say I would stay until 1, so I guess. What other stories can I tell you that's family friendly? And by family friendly, I mean it won't get me in trouble with my wife. The other day, my older daughter, was watching this movie. I shouldn't even say because now I'm not going to remember the name. I see the movie and I see the characters, but I can't. Is it Split? No, it's Split. It's about this boy and his family that moves into this neighborhood and meets the neighbor girl across the street. She has a crush on him right from the beginning. And I think his name was Bryce. That's a name you don't really hear much anymore these days. That's like a name from like the 50s and 60s maybe. But she was so into him, but he kept pushing her off and he didn't like her. But towards the end, is it switched? Maybe it's switched. And then at the end, he's the one that ended up liking her, and then she didn't want anything to do with him because he was mean to her and he said some mean things about her family. It's a really cute movie. At the end, they get together, but I don't think he deserved her. She was such a sweetheart, or her character was a sweetheart. I think she deserved someone better. Anyways, I think 2 more minutes. I could look it up, see what movie that was. I believe I switched. What did I call it before? Split? No, Split I think is the M. Night Shyamalan one. or the guy with multiple personality. I think he switched. What's another good Valentine's Day movie? I think Meet Joe Black. I like that movie. Well, I'm not sure if I like the movie as much as I like the actress that was the doctor in the movie. Something about her eyes. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen her in any other movie. But in that movie, she's so attractive. Okay, this is the last minute. Once again, really, if you made it this long into the video, I really appreciate you. Thank you for staying around. Remember, remember, it's never too late to make it a great day. And guess what? I will see you in my next video. Take care now. Bye.